Welcome on in, DJ and PK. DJ's off today. I am PK. Thanks for joining us. We certainly appreciate it. Joining us now, you know him. You love him. He is David Locke, Mr. Jazz radio broadcaster. How the heck are you?
I'm good. Great to talk. David James takes vacation? I didn't know this. After 17 years of knowing him, I'm not sure this has ever happened before.
You know, I wouldn't call it a vacation. It's a personal thing that he has to do involving family. But it's not really a vacation.
Oh, well, I guess things have never changed then. All right. I thought the hardest working guy never stops. Well, he might have actually turned a page.
Yeah, and I was supposed to be off today, but I rearranged it and came back early. I went on a baseball trip.
Oh, what'd you do?
My wife wanted to see Niagara Falls, so we did that. And
pretty great, actually. Did you go Canadian side or U.S. side?
Both, but we stayed in the Canadian side.
Okay, way better. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It's a night and day difference.
Yeah.
And shooting fireworks over the falls at 10 o'clock. And I had no idea on the Canadian side that it was a big vacation spot. I mean, with rides and amusement, the kids all over the place and people. So since we were there, we did the boat ride, and they say you're going to get wet. What they should say is you're going to get more wet than taking a shower.
Yes. Did you get the poncho over the top of you or not?
Oh, of course.
It doesn't really matter, though.
It doesn't. No. I mean, you are soaked. It took 2 days for the clothes to dry out. I mean, to say you're going to get wet is a massive understatement.
Yes, that is accurate.
You will get drenched, and you'll laugh because it's nothing like anything you've ever done. And,
and you'll wish you had different shoes for the rest of the day.
Precisely. And I wish somebody would have told me, because I only brought 2 pair of shoes, and one, we were going to the Jersey Shore, and they were just basically flip-flops. They're glorified flip-flops. So we kind of had to do that for a couple of days and keep the shoes in the sun and all that stuff. And then since we were close enough, we went up to Toronto, so I saw the Blue Jays play.
Oh, cool.
And then went back.
I went to Skydome, which is now Rogers, when it was brand new in 1990. I think it opened in 89.
It opened in 89. I looked it up, yeah.
And so I went and saw it in 1990 at the time, which was like such a revolutionary concept. And that's when people were having sex in that hotel room. And you could see it. And it was like they had forgotten about that concept, that people might be voyeurs. And that's where Jose Canseco would hit that huge home run. But yeah, it was like such a revolutionary, with a retractable roof, and the technology was crazy. It's probably outdated, and it's probably soon to be discussed as something at a stadium that needs to be replaced, I would guess.
As old as it is there, yeah. But I mean, it's in a great location right there in the heart of downtown.
Toronto's my favorite city we travel to.
Yeah, we explored.
Yeah, I thought Toronto was truly amazing. I wish I'd known there's a sandwich shop in Toronto that's just crazy, small, no tables. You walk in, you grab your sandwich, and you're like, oh, what do I do with this? There's maybe 2 table seats, 4. And it's just amazing. But no, Toronto's unquestionably my favorite city.
The traffic was pretty nasty virtually at all times.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the 5th biggest city in North America. Or, yeah, fourth.
I thought I heard him say 3rd.
Oh, interesting. Mexico City, New York, Toronto?
Yeah. Yeah, it was just, there was traffic everywhere, but I mean, the game started at 7. We got downtown at 10, and just parked the car, so we had plenty of time.
That's pretty great. That's cool. And what else did you see? Anything else?
Then we went to Citi Field to see the Mets, and then over to Philadelphia to see the Phillies.
In 1990, I drove across country, and I saw a game in every stadium.
Oh, that's our goal. We only have 4 more to go.
And so it's so funny though. So there's only 26 at the time. It's a little bit of a trick to get it done, because there's actually, I don't know if it's still true, but at the time there were a bunch of weird things where the Rangers and Astros are never home at the same time, and the Angels and Dodgers are never home, the Cubs, White Sox. So there are a bunch of spots where you actually have to hit them. If you're going to get the trip done with any efficiency all in one summer, you had to hit, Texas or Dallas and then be able to get to Houston the next day, or catch Texas on the last day of a homestand and then get to Houston. We did it, but also it's funny. I mean, obviously 1990 is a long, long time ago now, but and Camden Yards was brand new, New Comiskey was brand new, and Skydome. Those were the 3, and obviously Wrigley and Fenway were the old dogs. Now, I don't Like I haven't seen any of these stadiums, right? Like not only did Coors Field not exist, and not only did the Florida Marlins not exist, which made the trip possible, or the Miami Marlins, excuse me, which made the trip possible because you didn't have to go down that far south. And actually, frankly, not having to dive back into Colorado made it, because I was doing it out of San Francisco at the time. So not having those two spots was very helpful. But none of the stadiums are the same. Like none of them. Like, you know, like go to Metrodome in Minneapolis is gone, and every single one of them. Three Rivers Park is gone,
Detroit.
thank goodness, and Riverfront is gone, thank God. Those two were just such cookie cutter abominations.
Same thing in Philadelphia. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Cincinnati.
So, yeah. So anyway, just kind of interesting. I mean, obviously that's a lot. It actually happened really fast because Camden Yards was so beautiful. That the stadium revolution happened in the late 90s to early 2000s. So it was really interesting how fast all of them went away. Now that it's 2025? So 36 years ago or 35 years ago, they did that. It's not as surprising that these stadiums are gone.
And a lot of times change is not viewed as positive, but this was change for the better.
Right.
Because these ballparks now are way more charming. Yeah. And that's one of baseball's things is charming, is that you have to have that.
I wish sometimes that baseball would dive more into the uniqueness of every field, right? Because I think with the modern era of all the data that they have now, it's like somewhat interesting that someone hit a 402-foot home run, but it's way more interesting when someone hits a 372-foot home run and they're like, that would only be a home run in 5 of the 30 ballparks. You're like, oh, that's really cool. Like, oh, like that's, you know, that's unique. Or somebody flies out, you know, in a 4-2 game with 2 runners on, somebody flies out and the stat pops up. It's like, oh, that would have been a home run in 21 of the other 30 buildings. Like, oh, well, then that's a really, you know, then the makeup of the stadium had a big impact on the game.
I like it. That's a good idea. It is, and it does. Yeah, sure. So that's the one thing that you can get in that sport that the other ones are sort of uniform in that way in football and basketball, obviously.
And the game's watchable again, so you can now be a fan of it.
Yes, and I was there on Monday, and the game was decided in the bottom of the 10th on a catcher's interference. First time since 1971.
We have a new show. I'm going to plug it because I think it's really cool. If you're a baseball fan, we have a new show called Locked on MLB Game Night. And what it is we have a host for every team, right? So they record a 1-minute piece after every game, and then we just kind of our hosts bounce from one report to the next. And so you get a recap of the entire night of MLB, and instead of just covering New York, Boston, and LA, we cover every team. And so I think it's cool. So that's why I mentioned it. It's called Locked on MLB Game Night. And I listen to it almost every day as my way of catching up with what's going on with baseball. And the other day they were talking about catcher's interference, and I didn't realize this is all because of the computers. That the catchers are now trying to get closer to frame it differently because of the computers and the computer balls and strikes. And that's why we have more catcher's interference.
I didn't know that either, but it makes sense.
Right. Super interesting. But yeah, so tip of the hat to thus the free plug for our show. But that is, at least I'm not stealing information and acting like it's mine.
Cool. Okay.
You would like that show, by the way.
I will check it out.
Yeah.
I check out your stuff. Do you want to talk jazz or you want to talk the state of college sports?
I think the state of college sports is pretty fascinating. I have a podcast on the Jazz. If someone's that much of a diehard that they want it right now, I'll be recording it when we're done. We can do that. How's that? Here's what I think. I was talking to I was just talking to Jeff Thurman, is his name. He's the head of Utah Golf Association, and Stoddard is the head coach at Oklahoma State.
Annie Thurman.
So, yeah, you got it. So my take on this is I'm pro portal. Because, like, I remember Rick McJair's calling Jordy McTavish into the room and telling him that all of his teammates hate him and he has to go, right? It wasn't true. Like, so the coaches were evil.
Idaho State.
Right. And I'm pro players getting paid because clearly there was a lot of money out there that was worth it for people to pay their players, right?
No question.
And so, and the people that are against the portal and against the players getting paid, my only comment to that is you just didn't really understand what was going on before.
Oh, okay? That's absolutely correct. I've been saying that for years. I don't know that there's many people who are against that, though. They want maybe some regulations as opposed to being against it and not even having it existing.
100%. what it's doing to college sports and what the impact of two things I like are, I'm not so certain about, is the way I would phrase it. Like, I'm pro portal, I'm pro nil. I think these are good things. I just don't know what it means anymore, and I don't know what it means for fans. I know on a personal note, the conference realignment has destroyed my fandom, because I think I was as much a fan of Stanford at this point because my dad and I went to games together, and every Saturday it let us kind of talk and probably have the same conversation every year, which was like, oh, do you remember UCLA when John Neighbor hit the field goal to beat the Bruins in 19, or when Vinny White did such and such, and there was just a history to it.
Yep.
And now when Stanford plays Wake Forest, I just don't give a crap at all. In fact, I didn't watch one game all year. I couldn't tell you their schedule, and I couldn't probably tell you a player's name on their team anymore.
Okay, but how much is that they've gone through a little bit of a lull if they were 12-0, 11-1?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
maybe,
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, if they're 12-0 or 11-1, you might be, if you're that extreme, right? It's pretty hard to not be interested in the top 10 team. But let's just be more realistic. If they were 8-4, like, I don't think I would care. I really don't think I would care if they were 8-4. But I also don't live there either. I mean, we've always the truth is, in all of these sports, that all we're doing is being a member of a tribe and rooting for cloth. That's just the truth of the matter. It's fine, right? We get identity by being a part of a group, which is great. This is like, we need this in society. This is a positive. And you can wear your hat of your team, and you wear your shirt, and then when I say you're rooting for cloth, like, it doesn't really matter if the players change, you still root for your team. Like, it hurts, but you still root for your team. And
you get over
Penn
it.
State, yeah, and Penn State's proven we actually don't care what you morally do with your team, because we'll still root for our team, and have no repercussions if, like, you're doing the most heinous things ever and decide, yeah, that's fine, we'll keep your statue up, because it's part of a tribe. Like, that's what tribes do. And it was a little deep, but what I think also is there was a little bit of college sports, and I didn't have this because I didn't go to Stanford, where you would wear your sweatshirt of your alma mater and go to the game, and you're rooting for kids that in theory were kind of doing the same thing you did by going to that school. That part is now gone, right? There's nothing similar about the running back making $3 million to you as the college student going to school. So that part is going to be gone. I don't know what the long-term impact of this is. It's just fascinating, though.
Yeah, but wasn't that running back already making money? We just didn't talk about it.
Yes, yeah. I mean, maybe not $3 million.
Not as much, granted.
Right. I mean, the one that's really interesting here when you try to find solutions is, okay, well, make these guys, I've heard a lot of people talk about this, make people sign a 2 or 3 year contract. Well, then they're employees. And then the impact of that, whether you care or not, is that there's no women's sports and there's no men's sports that aren't revenue generators anymore.
That's where I was going to get with that. I mean, you have a college athlete yourself and your family, and nobody,
right.
I would think nobody wants to see sports eliminated, whether you're a fan of that particular sport or not. If you're a sports fan, you understand the value, particularly of young women who are bruised and battered in our world because they may not look like Sydney Sweeney or whomever it is, the latest hottie toddy of the day, and they're supposed to have that. And if they don't, they feel less of a person, and it is a tragedy. And sports is a way for them to develop and all that other stuff. So I don't think anybody wants to see that go away. I wouldn't think.
Yeah, I think some people don't care, which is unfortunate. It is interesting, though. I've watched sometimes. I mean, it's interesting, like when you say, well, Title IX goes, well, I don't like Title IX. Okay, well, your men's soccer team is gone. Oh, wait, what? The men's soccer team's gone?
And I don't like that either.
Right. It's not Title IX that's gone. It's all non-Olympics. It's non-revenue sports are gone because there's nothing. And I do think that part of a university is to have these opportunities the same way they have a theater and an art department and kids are getting music scholarships and theater scholarships.
Agreed.
I mean, the other one I would say, just this as a side note that has always frustrated me, is I really wish kids could major in their sport. It's really what they're doing anyway. Trust me, I'm not in love with that concept, but it's going on. And if that's what you're doing, which is what truthfully most college kids are doing that are playing Division I sports, then take a finance class, take a nutrition class, take a coaching class, take an exercise science class, take a make it real, but major in football. But football, like, that involves all aspects of football, so that when you're done playing football or basketball or whatever your sport is, and you want to stay in it in some capacity, you then have a book of skills, because we let you major in theater and we let you major in dance and we let you major in music. And those are not, like, just because they're elitist and somehow prestigious and allow you to be a snob doesn't actually mean that they have much less revenue opportunity in the long run than any of these sports, being a coach or being something in the sport or working for, like a golfer comes out with some skills and goes and works for Callaway. They can make a whole hell of a lot of money selling club, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Right. Whereas, like, the music coach is really not going to make any money. So I don't really understand why. I would like us to the next step is to dive all in. Like, let these kids go to college, have them be college students, but let them major in their sports. And if they're going to be making $3 million, let's go ahead and give them a finance class while we're at it.
Yeah, but I think they can take one.
They can, but not if it's hard. They can't. Then they're told not to.
Well, that's a fact. We've had athletes come on the air and tell us that, and I know what you're saying without saying it.
I mean, I'm not going to hide it. Like, I have a Division I golfer. She's literally told what classes are available to her or not.
Right, because they can't get in the way of the team. That's why we're paying you to come here.
Right, 100%. Like, she's not bringing in. Like, come on, what's the joke? Like, so they can finish last in the Big Ten. Like,
well, I mean, things may change now based on what's happened here recently.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting, but I think your first point of, like, the really interesting debate here is, okay, what is the purpose of collegiate sports and its societal impact on young adults? Okay, because that's where we started, and that's why we have college sports in theory, I would think.
Yes.
And then, so that's to your point that yes, you're preaching to the choir. You know it, that, like, sports has given my daughter a feeling of worth and self-worth in a tough world for kids right now.
Yeah.
And and given her the opportunity to have a week she'll never forget, like this one. And so then it's been great. But, so to me, that's what I would like to believe collegiate sports is. If we're just going to turn it into minor leagues, and that's what it is, so that fans can root for things and schools can brand themselves, then it's something else. And I don't know where we're heading. It's really, it's a great question. Like, what is the purpose of this? Like, why? What are we doing? Is it just to fill a stadium and make money? Like, that's really disappointing if that's where we are, but it might be where we are.
Understood. Where we are is we got to go. We enjoyed your conversation this morning. I appreciate you getting up and talking with us.
Kyle Filipowski, Summer League MVP. Way to go, Flip.
Yeah, we can get to that the next time because that was going to be my topic. And what do we have there in that young man as a player, and we will get to that at another time. But
okay.
Thank you for your time.
Have a good weekend. Hope you get to hit him straight somewhere.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Okay.
See you. Bye.
David Locke joining us, and if you did not know what he was referencing, his daughter is the women's state amateur champion. Congratulations to that young lady. I've seen her play golf, and very, very good. You can go read stories about it wherever you want to. KSL Sports, and we've got it everywhere, and all the other places. So interesting times in college athletics, which brings us to, at the top of the hour, we're going to be talking to Mitch Harper. We've got BYU football that we're going to talk about for an hour with camp starting, and then at 9 o'clock, we're going to flip over and go with Steve Bartle and talk about Utes with their camp starting. So stay with us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.